Hello, everyone. Good morning and welcome to, the introduction to what will be a regular show at 8:30 a.m. on Fridays every single week. And we are going to discuss everything to do with properties. So from the white paper that Maxine is going to give us all of the information about shortly, and we can have a Q&A session next week following a bit of information that she's going to present to us, and how to speed up sales and anything else that's topical in the week. So please join us. We very much look forward to passing on all of the intel and all of the information that we have picked up as our year as presidents. Hi, Maxine. Morning.
Hi, Liana. How are you?
Great. Thank you.
Great. Just to add a little bit more meat to the bones on this one, this is going to be a regular slot for 8:30 a.m. every Friday morning, and it is called the Property Powerhouse Podcast by the past presidents. So you're going to get an opportunity to quiz us, ask us lots and lots of questions. We're going to be talking about hints and tips, all the great things that's going on out there in our industry that is going to be topical and of interest. And we're going to be available every single week for you guys to actually pop in, chat to us and get involved. So let's kick off.
I think the most topical thing at the moment, and everybody's in a little bit of a panic on day, Maxine, it's this white paper. So I think in our very first session, which is next week, which will be the first episode, we will have the opportunity to ask questions and get to know a little bit more what is going on, what we need to worry about, and what we don't need to worry about, what people are kind of possibly blowing out of proportion. So Maxine, tell us a little bit about the white paper, and then I'll jump in and ask you a few questions myself, and then I'm sure that everybody listening can ask any more if they have any too next week.
Sure. The most important thing to say here is these are the biggest proposed changes in 30 years. So that's a big change, that we is coming down the track. Now, I think the other really important thing to say here is that there's a lot of people that are very worried about what's going on. But please, please don't worry. Don't press the panic button. There isn't anything to worry about. As it says in the actual paper itself, as I will hold it up for you, you can see I've been reading it. It's a white paper. It's just, that's it. It's a white paper. At the moment, it's very much a discussion point. So don't get too het up and worried about what's in there, because there's going to be a lot of opportunity for us to be able to go out and to go through full consultation before this actually gets enacted into legislation.
So Maxine, for everybody that doesn't have the time or doesn't really want to read 80 pages of white paper, give us a quick summary. Tell us what's important. What are the implications for agents?
Okay, interesting one, that, because as far as concerned, the statistics are that we've got 19,000 agents out there across the whole of the UK. Now, these aren't my figures, these are government figures, and I actually believe it's probably more than that. According to the government, within this paper, 49% of landlords don't use an agent, and 46% use an agent, and 18% use an agent for full management. So actually it's pretty low when you think that there is 4.4 million houses out there, or flats, accommodation in the private rented sector. So the amount that's in management is quite low. But it's interesting because all of these proposals have already happened within the devolved nations. So I think that there's lots and lots of learning things that we can actually gain from this. One of the things for me, and I think is actually quite exciting for us, is for agents, is that there's many investors out there, and they're not interested in actually managing it and doing everything themselves. So I think that this is actually a huge opportunity. And we've already seen this within Wales. There's been a huge opportunity for the landlords that have still got to be registered. They've still got to actually take an active part, but they don't want to get involved with the day-to-day of, like, taking the phone call when the key's lost or the toilet's broken. And that's where we play a really important part. And I think that this is a massive opportunity for us as agents to be actually getting involved.
Yeah, and Maxine, tell us, because the Section 21, it's been in the Queen's speech since 2019. It's one of the real fears that people have, and it's a fear for agents and especially landlords. So tell us, what's it gonna mean? Is it going to be periodic tenancies? Are there going to be any fixed term tenancies? What is going on?
Okay, well, it's going to be a complete change. So what we've actually known previously, if this goes ahead, so put that caveat on every single question here, but if this does go ahead, and I'll be honest with you, I think that the Section 21 abolishment will go ahead, because it is something that was discussed in the Conservative manifesto. It was also then announced in the Queen's speech right back in 2019. So this isn't actually big changes that that within these white paper. This is something I think that we were pretty much expecting to see anyway. But the changes will mean there will be no more Section 21. So the no fault eviction paper won't exist. However, the good thing is government did listen to the industry when we went out and we did the consultation. And so there will be stronger grounds, which we were all worried about before, but stronger grounds to be able to get mandatory possession of your properties. And I certainly would say, in my experience as a landlord, and I've been a landlord now for 24 years with my own portfolio of properties, I don't think that we've got too much to worry about. According to the English Housing Survey, the average tenancy is 4.3 years. And I cannot see for 1 minute that a tenant is going to move into a property and then they're going to give notice. Now, the changes, as far as the Section 21 and other changes are concerned, is that when a tenant moves into a property, all tenancies will become periodic, meaning that a tenant, instead of giving the 1 month's notice that they give now, they will only need to give they will need to change to give 2 months' notice, but that means that you will start straight away as a periodic tenancy. So all tenancies will become periodic. But as I say, I can't see for 1 minute that a tenant's going to move in and want to move out again. I mean, at the moment, as we all know, that housing is in high demand and short supply, and most tenants don't even want to go anywhere. So I don't think that we have got too much to panic or to worry about, and certainly we've got lots of time for consulting on this anyway.
Yes, in fact, government has asked for feedback, I think, from many of the leading industry experts, and they want an opinion, right? It's not set in stone yet, although we know the abolishment of the Section 21 is going to happen. Do you know, I have a question for you, Maxine. You'll explain, but it is, if you can serve a Section 8, and it's if you're going to sell, or if a family member is going to move in, and they said, but how can they prove that you can put it on the market, say you haven't sold it, and then go back? I mean, it just, how are they going to even get around monitoring that?
Well, I mean, that's a really good question. That is one of the grounds, the mandatory grounds, as you know. So there is a mandatory ground if you're going to sell, or if your family member needs to move in, and you need to be able to prove that you are going to sell it. So I guess the proving is going to be that you have to show that it's on the market, or you have to prove that a family member needs to move in. So we've got to wait and see. This is the thing of, like, getting more meat on the bones, actually seeing what the paper is going to end up saying. It's a discussion and consultation stage at the moment, and there's going to be roundtable events. All the industry is going to be able to comment, and even all of our listeners, everybody is going to be able to get a chance to be able to consult on this paper. So, don't get too het up and worried, because there's lots and lots of opportunities that everyone's going to be able to have their say.
it also feels like it's very much on the tenant side, and like the upfront rents, Maxine. This 6 months. Normally, we ask for 6 months upfront because a tenant is either can't afford or doesn't pass referencing, and yeah, I think how it's the reason for referencing is to protect the landlord.
You know what? There's lots of things that won't change. And if a tenant is moving in because they fail referencing, and then they're wanting to actually take that 6 months, they are. I didn't see anything within there to say you couldn't do that. The problem is they can still move out after 2 months, but will they? I can't see for 1 minute they will. And these are questions, and good questions, to be able to actually raise within the consultation roundtables and consultation opportunities that we will all be given.
And Maxine, look, there are a few more points to cover, and I'm sure we'll have many more questions next week. And it's a great opportunity to be able to just ask all of the things that have been proposed that just currently don't make sense or don't feel like they're going to make sense. So landlords can no longer discriminate against housing benefits tenants. Tell me a bit more about that.
Nothing's changed. You're not allowed as a landlord to discriminate against people for sex, race, religion. What's the other one? Can't remember. But it's like we can't discriminate. And to be totally honest with you, as far as that legislation is concerned, a tenant doesn't actually have to tell the landlord if they're in receipt of benefits. And the current climate that we're actually in, there are many, many households that get top-up benefits anyway. So, people are getting a bit worried about this, saying, "Oh, is this going to mean that we're going to have to change our way of actually operating?" No, it doesn't. We can't discriminate now, and so there's not really going to be changes then. So I don't think that we've got too much to worry about as housing benefit tenants. We take housing benefit tenants, we take top up. It all comes down to affordability, and if I don't know, if you come to me, Liana, and you wanted to rent out a house and it's £2,000 a month, but your affordability says that you can only afford £1,000 a month, then you're not going to be able to let out that property that's £2,000. Nothing changes. It's all still based on affordability. And local housing allowance actually gives you that cap. So it tells you exactly how much you can afford, and you can't go above that. And that will be checked through your referencing. So you will still be referenced. Nothing will actually be changed as far as that's concerned.
So Maxine, next week we plan to give more information about the portal, whether it be compulsory or advice, possession and recovering property, deposits, the private renters ombudsman. We've got so much to talk about, and I know that you'll be giving us a lot more information on
and pets. Let's talk about pets as well. The big hot topic, pets.
The big hot topic, pet. So we've got it all to come, and we can't wait to go live again. So please join us if you enjoyed this kind of mini session, mini introduction to what the Property Powerhouse podcast is going to sound like. Please join us next Friday at 8:30. Thanks, Maxine. I think your insight and especially going around having a year of being at the forefront every week, listening to everybody at the top of their game, sharing what is going on nationwide, has given us this insight. And I think it's so important for us to be able to share it with everybody.
Excellent. Yeah. And I really look forward to it. And any questions that you guys have, just feed them into the link, emailing us. Tell us exactly what you would like to know, and I'd be more than happy to actually filter any questions. So, so next Friday, 8:30 in the morning, regular slot. We are going to be there. My good friend Liana and I, we're going to be talking about lettings. We're going to be talking about sales. We're going to be talking about anything that you want to talk about in relation to property. So please come and join us. And I shall now pass to my good friend Liana to finish off.
Oh, Maxine, you said, what was that saying that you said when we went at our last conference, when you signed off?
What did I say?
Was it to see you nice or something like that? It was
Nice
a really
to see you nice.
nice to see you nice. Bye everyone.
From her and it's good night from him.
That's it. It's good morning from her and it's good morning from me. Have a lovely day, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.